the live stream, you were talking about that homie that he sits there, he be talking to women and be into the conversations.
But say
yeah.
You said that you had a friend that does what?
No, you were talking about, you were giving a story about that homie that he like talks to women for like 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you lightweight kind of mentioned him before several times, and I wanted to ask about that because I be doing that same thing.
Right.
So I was going to ask, like, is there anything wrong with that if that's what you like doing?
No, that's fine. This is what it is. It's about understanding what you like. So my friend likes to do that shit. Like, he really is really about that. Like, me personally, I don't like talking to women. You see what I'm saying? Like, the only time I like talking to women is, or not even just women. I'm just like that, where I like talking when talking is directly correlated to my agenda. So if it has nothing to do with my agenda, like if I see a woman, like, I don't care about like how her day is and what she did at work and what, what happened in school and, her thoughts and dreams and aspirations. And the only time I care is when it's like a woman who's significant to me, like my girlfriend or wife or something like that. But a random chick, like, I don't really like talking to random chicks. I just like telling random chicks what to do. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, like, I need you to meet me here 7:00 this time. That's that. I don't give a shit about the other stuff. Now, my friend and yourself, you guys like it. So yeah, do that, because that's something that's within you that you like and you enjoy. And so that comes out in the interactions. So the way that I, like, for example, even when you guys watch Real Game No Theory stuff, like for example, like Miles, and I think even Kay Zagan probably mentioned this, that they're a little bit more like romantic. Like, I'm super, super not romantic. Like, I have zero romantic bones in my body. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I hate romantic shit. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? But because that's how I am, that's how I interact with women. Like, I'm super, like, any chick that you could find that I've hooked up with will tell you the same thing. Like, I only text women to come through, they do their thing, and then I'm like, all right, peace out, I'll see you later. Like, I don't give a fuck, and they know this. But again, that's me. That's just how I am. And some other guys, they give a fuck, but I just don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You got to figure out how you are and implement that into your game. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, because see, that's what I was always wondering that, because I noticed that none of you all ever mentioned that, so I thought that maybe that was like rules against the game or whatever. Because but I've tried to explain that to some before. I'm like, nah, I just like doing that. I like talking to people.
Right.
I like knowing where you're from and all that stuff like that. And like you said, it comes out in the interaction. So when I go out and say I meet women at a lounge or something, I can sit there for 2 hours, chop it up with a chick. But by the time that 2 hours is up, I know everything about a chick. I know all her dirty secrets.
Right.
I know everything about a chick. And then a lot of times it leads over to fucking. But I had to learn, like, now that, when I had started listening to y'all and became a student of the game, a lot of times that when it wouldn't lead to fucking, the worst it would be is like some friend zone shit.
Yeah.
But I had to learn to, like, sprinkle in flirting, the flirting to go in there and to actually give direction to the conversation, to still keep that on track, but still keep, the engagement and stuff like that. So I just didn't know if maybe I was doing something wrong and it was off or whatever.
No, it has to be about what you enjoy. That's why we say the game is about you. So if you're talking to women and you enjoy talking to women and going back and forth and having those interactions and doing all those other things, right? It's something that you like to do because that gives you pleasure to do that thing, which is why you should do it. You see what I'm saying? So the thing with me, like, for example, like, if y'all notice, I like to go back and forth with niggas debating the game. You understand what I'm saying? I love that shit.
Oh yeah,
that's why I do all those things with Ice White, or when people call in, I'll let them talk for longer than, you understand what I'm saying? Because I like to go back and forth with that. But the reason why is because I like to show people how important the game is through the debate, and then I could clip those, and then those get a lot of views, and then because those get a lot of views, then you see what I'm saying? So there's always a purpose. Like, so for example, when I go into Uber or a Lyft car, I hate when the driver talks to me. Why? Because I don't want to talk to the driver. Why? Because there's no point. You see what I'm saying?
See, I like that shit, because I'll start talking back and forth with the driver.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I'll sit there and chop it up with the driver.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like talking to the driver because the driver doesn't do anything for my life directly. So it's like, is he putting money in my pocket? No. Am I fucking the driver? No. Is the driver going to help me with my business? No. So therefore, if none of those things pertain, I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's nothing to do. But that's how I do shit. And it's like, that's just me and how my brain works and how I enjoy things. So a lot of I hate small talk. I hate a lot of all this extra stuff, but some people like it. You understand? So that's what I'm saying, where you got to figure out what you like and then go in that direction and then do those things that work for you based on what you like. You see what I'm saying? But what you don't want to do is you don't want to do things that you don't like because you think is going to work. You understand? So for example, since you like talking, I don't want you to be like, damn, well, Lucario, he be getting chicks and he don't even be talking to these chicks like that. So I should stop talking. No, don't stop talking because I don't like talking. Talk because you like talking and it's working for you and that's what you enjoy. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to start talking because I'm like, damn, this guy, he's getting a bunch of bitches and shit is working out for him because he's talking and I don't give a shit. I don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? That's why we talk about the game is about getting what you want on your terms. Your terms is you like talking. My terms is I don't like talking, so I ain't gonna talk. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it is.
Yeah, I appreciate that because that's been kind of conflicting with me for a while because as I was being student stuff like you just said, you are like, well, I don't be talking to him, I don't be doing this and this. Chick come through and she just fuck and I just put her on out or whatever. So I don't ever do none of that. But the chicks that come through fuck with me, they bring, like I said, I got women that bring me groceries. I got women that do all that shit. But I'll and sometimes I would ask them, and they'd be like, damn, because you come through and like I can talk to you. You know how to have a conversation, this and this and this. So they show up and they be just bringing me shit.
Right. And
I don't even have to ask for it.
And the thing is that has to be congruent with who you are. So it shouldn't be like you're saying, well, I talk because I want the pussy. It should be, I get pussy because women like how I talk. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's just what you do. You see what I'm saying? Right. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. So it's not a thing where, because a lot of guys, what they do is they're looking for ways to get pussy. So they say, Lucario, Miles, whoever, what can I do to get this? So then you say, okay, well, A, B, and C work. So they're like, fuck, okay, I hate doing A, B, and C, but I'm gonna do it to get pussy. That's what you should never do. So you should never be talking to try to get the pussy. You should be talking because you like talking. Period. Whether you get the pussy or not. That's the key. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I said. I'll be talking just because I like it, and then the pussy just follows because of that. Now here's gonna be my last question because I'm gonna let you get off. I'm gonna donate. I'm gonna donate another 15. But now is that my why? Because I know you all like you'll ask like when somebody comes in and goes, well, why should a woman fuck you?
Right.
So with these women that fuck me, a common thing they've always told me for years is like talking to me is like talking to a therapist. It needs to be the women I'm fucking. So is that my why?
What do you mean as far as why you want to talk to them?
Like, no, the why is why they want to fuck me.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you call in, Steve will be like, well, why should she want to fuck you? What makes you different from other guys?
Right. Well, the why of why the woman want to fuck you is directly correlated to the type of guy that you are and why she is attracted to you in particular. So that could be it. It could be like, well, the woman feels good having a conversation with you, which makes her feel certain feelings, which is why she wants to do that with you in particular. You see what I'm saying? Now, what'll happen is that you're going to attract certain women because of that. Do you see what I'm saying? Then on the flip side, right, there might be a woman who is turned off by that. But that's not the chick for you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's basic things in the game where, as far as like, for example, if you're a guy who's, let's say, too needy, and then you're calling a chick every day and trying to talk to her for an hour because you like talking and you're doing all this other stuff, you're doing that out of neediness, right? Versus actually just like talking to women, right? Because you can just talk to the woman but not be needy, and I'd see her maybe once a week and we have a conversation and we're talking because I like talking. But if that turns into neediness by you talking to her every day, that's where you're fucking up. You see what I'm saying? So there has to be that balance within the situation. So even though I don't like necessarily talking to women, when I'm in a situation with a woman, like on a date or let's say, interacting with a woman where I'm flirting with her, I'm still giving her enough attention for it to be substantial for her to feel good in the situation. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you start to balance out how you like to do things with being able to do things efficiently. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the thing you gotta also look at when it comes to the game.
Okay, man. I really appreciate you clearing that up, because, man, like when I go out, that's what I was kind of struggling with the, and because like when I go out and I'm just having these conversations, or these, I wasn't trying to have boring, bland conversations and nothing, and I'm not talking to them, so I kind of just sit there and I'd be bored. I'm just sitting there like, just having these kind of, because I feel like I'm only talking to them just to try to fuck, and I'm like, man, I don't never normally do that. Man, I just go out, I talk to everybody around me. And then the women that's fucking with me, I just end up fucking.
Right. It ain't nothing wrong with that. You just got to also just be very mindful of how you're also coming across too and what you're doing, so that when you get certain responses, you are not surprised. So, for example, like there's times where I've been with, there's women that I hooked up with or whatever. And every once in a while I get a girl that be like, oh, how come it seemed like you don't like talking on the phone? Right. And so I know that I'm going to get that type of response in certain situations because I don't like talking on the phone. Then I got to let them know, like, listen, I don't really like doing that. And this is what it is. Now, sometimes some chicks they'll stick with me and fuck with me, and some chicks will be out for whatever reason. Right. And so what I'm saying is that you still need to understand also how what you're doing, right, can cause a certain thing to happen. So for example, if you like talking to women, right, there's still a chance that you might get certain women that will be way more invested and then could also turn into being obsessed with you because you're giving them a lot of energy, time, and attention through communication. You see what I'm saying? So your intention was, oh, we just kicking it, we have some fun. But her perspective and her perception is, man, Phoenix is like the perfect guy. I'm really falling in love with him because we have this great connection and blah, 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 blah. But that happened because you like talking. You see what I'm saying? So you have to, you see what I'm saying? So you still have to balance it out. See, that's why a lot of times where the reason why I also, the fact that I don't like talking to women helps me too, because then I have less women who sort of bother me. You see what I'm saying? Because they're like, well, I'm only going to hear from Locario. Like, for example, most women, if and I noticed this throughout me dealing with women and all this other stuff, most women that I dealt with, like I have to contact them. Now, the reason why I have to contact them is because they understand that I don't really want to hear from them until I want to hear from them. So they're kind of like, well, I'll let Locario hit me up because I know if I hit him up, I'm kind of bothering him. You understand what I'm saying? And they already get that vibe based on how I deal with them. So they just kind of wait for me to call them when I need them or call them when I want them, right? Now, other guys that like to talk a little more, you'll get more women contacting you because they're like, well, yeah, we communicate, we talk, we have these great conversations. So therefore you're more inviting. So for example, you're a more inviting guy than I am. You see what I'm saying? So right. Women will probably reach out to you more than they would reach out to me. Whereas they would wait for me to hit them up versus waiting for you to hit them up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you're completely right. That's why, man, you beast mode with that because that is a con of that because when I have to restrict the conversation, because they know I have several different women or whatever.
Right.
So I can't sit here and you can't just call me up at random times because I'm gonna be with another chick. But when they try to do that, and I'll be like, hey, no, you can't do that, saying, I can't talk to you right now, whatever, this and this. Then they'll start to feel a certain type of way about that.
Right.
But that's because I started out talking to them. They like, oh, I just want to tap in with him because, to feel kind of good and have that conversation. Damn, I can't have that conversation with him right now because he's somewhere else. He's busy or he just don't feel like talking right now. Maybe I'm online playing PlayStation with my homies or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
And then they'll feel a certain type of way about that. And then,
Exactly. So you got to understand them feeling that type of way is directly correlated to the comfortability they feel talking to you, but that happens because you like talking to women. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you have to always remember it still has to be balanced out because you can't be surprised when women come at you a certain way because you're coming at them a certain way. So I'm never surprised where I'm never like, damn, well, how come that girl didn't hit me back up? I know why, because she's like, this nigga Lakari don't give a shit about me. That's so let me, you see what I'm saying? And then so they're surprised when I hit them up. So I usually hit them up and say, hey, come through. And they're like, oh, like you know how many times I've had women say, I didn't even think you liked me anymore. I thought you wasn't interested, and that's because of how I come off. You see what I'm saying? And I know that though. Do you see what I mean? So you got to be aware of how you come off through your masculine identity. Do you